We're in this together.
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 We're in this together. We're in this together.
We're in this together.
We're in it together.
We're in this together.
We're in it together.
We're in this together.
We are in this together.
We're in this together.
We're in this together.
Welcome to all clergy, parish staff, volunteers and parishioners who have joined us today to celebrate the Diocese of Parramatta inaugural Safe Parishes Week. We are in this together, and it's great to have a strong representation from across the diocese celebrating with us today. Thank you for coming on board to acknowledge this significant milestone with our special guests, the Diocese of Parramatta's Bishop Vincent Long, Vicar General Father Peter Williams, Safeguarding Council Member Catherine Greiner, members of the Diocese Safe Parishes Committee, our safeguarding team, and so many other talented and committed individuals who support and share our safeguarding principles and practices. Before we proceed, I would like you to join me in an acknowledgement of country. In the spirit of reconciliation, we acknowledge the traditional custodians of the lands in which the Diocese of Parramatta sit, the land of the Darug and Gundungurra people. We would like to pay our respects to the Aboriginal elders of the past, present and future, for they hold the tradition, the memories and wisdom of Mother Earth on which we place our feet today. The safeguarding journey is one we will all share, and we are in this together. And today we want to paint a broad, clear picture of each of our roles in safeguarding, our aims, objectives, and the tools and resources we will share across the diocese to ensure no child, young person, or adult at risk is harmed or abused in any way. Together, we are focused on delivering safe communities built on voice, trust, justice, and integrity. Welcome to our team. For many, safeguarding is a new concept and a little understood word. But put simply, safeguarding is really about protecting the welfare, safety, and human rights of people that are in some way connected with our work, particularly people that may be at risk of abuse, harm, neglect, or exploitation. Our work and our shared mission are at the centre of the gospel, serving and protecting the vulnerable, the sick, the young and the old. Our aim is to have all diocesan staff and volunteers trained to understand safeguarding, recognise signs of abuse, know how to report and record incidents, and most importantly, work together to ensure the safety, health and well-being of victims. We are in this together, and the Office for Safeguarding is here to support you in our important shared roles. And now it's my privilege to introduce Father Peter Williams, who is the Vicar General at the Diocese of Parramatta, but he also has a really important role, and that is being the custodian of the safeguarding portfolio, and he's actually my boss. So I think you'll enjoy what he has to say and know that his commitment is really strong to safeguarding. Father Peter.
Suppose a brother or a sister is without clothes and daily food. If one of you says to them, "Go in peace, keep warm and well fed," but does nothing about their physical needs, what good is it? In the same way, faith by itself, if it is not accompanied by action, is dead. Today marks the rolling out of the next phase of the Diocese of Parramatta's expanding safeguarding landscape. The journey began in 2013 when the then Prime Minister Julia Gillard appointed the Royal Commission into institutional responses to child sexual abuse. The Commission shone a light on how many institutions had failed in their duty to protect children. The research and reports released 5 years later based on the Australian experience did and continue to form the basis of 10 succinct New South Wales Office for Children's Guardian child safe standards and other positive practices initiated by our church and others. Those child safe standards are the foundation for the National Catholic Safeguarding Standards and the new Diocese of Parramatta Safeguarding Policy to be released during this inaugural Safe Parishes Week. The standards and the new diocesan policy is simple, straightforward and easily understood. Many hours of prayer, deliberation and reflection have gone into the creation of the diocesan safeguarding policy, a process involving an astute group of professionals gathered together by the head of the Office for Safeguarding, Tracy McLeod-Howe. They form the Diocesan Safeguarding Council. One of those council members, Catherine Greiner, is here celebrating with us today. Tracy was appointed to this important strategic role just over a year ago. She brings to the diocese her legal training, years of experience in executive leadership roles in the not-for-profit sector, and in particular women's rights, domestic violence and the prevention of child abuse. She's a staunch advocate for the gender equality and the rights of the child, and daily retains humour and warmth in a complicated and sometimes challenging environment. Over the years, she has gathered and retained professional networks and friendships in her chosen fields, and we are blessed to be able to call on those many resources to create and build the Diocesan Office for Safeguarding. Safeguarding, under Tracy's leadership, has a deep understanding of all contemporary issues in this complicated arena. Think understanding child abuse and reportable conduct, domestic violence, elder abuse, protecting adults at risk and encouraging children's participation in developing child-safe practices throughout our parishes, and you think of the work of our organisation. Throughout the past year, Tracy has also built a strong and diverse safeguarding team ready to support our 47 parishes with training, education, healing and support and legal services. We as a diocese are always committed to responding to the signs of the times, and through the Office for Safeguarding, we are a diocesan community ready to focus on protecting those most at risk, and today we celebrate our readiness and our commitment. We are in this together, and I encourage all within our diverse communities to join us to focus on awareness and prevention, being proactive rather than reactive, and living our shared gospel.
Now, let's pause and watch a video about what safeguarding means to our colleagues in the Diocese of Parramatta.
Safeguarding is to keep myself and keep others safe. I would imagine the first scene of the gospel that comes to my mind is Jesus being surrounded by the little children. And there is no doubt that his presence made everyone not only happy but also safe. I would imagine that if we look at the background when he was sitting with the children, there will be a close proximity when the parents or maybe elders were with him. And that's exactly what safeguarding is all about. If our communities are those places when we are still centered on Jesus and when we create the atmosphere when children, those grown-ups and those elders, those vulnerable people are feeling safe, that's what exactly we meant to do.
Safeguarding to me is about an extension of the concept of child protection, but a much broader approach that we take. So for me, it's about keeping everybody safe, not just children, although they are at the forefront of everything that we do. Safeguarding is about broadening that and keeping all our people safe, not just the children, but our staff, our visitors, our volunteers, everybody in our communities.
An important part of safeguarding is our teachers recognising what the risk of significant harm is. And so we go through a whole lot of examples of what that may be. We are training them to observe, to be aware, and once they've noticed it, how to respond. And the 3 R's are what we use, and that is to reassure the child if something is disclosed, to record the details, and then to report.
The church promoting safeguarding and ensuring it happens is a sign to people, a message to people that we do take this seriously, that we know that there have been grave shortcomings in the past and we're determined to do better. We say we're sorry for what has happened in the past and we put in structures now which will help ensure that there's no abuse in the future.
For me, safeguarding is 2 things really. One of them is a legislative framework that we have to work within about how to keep kids safe. But then there's a common sense aspect to it which has a broader community approach, which is about how to keep children, young people and adults at risk safe in our communities. It really is all common sense, as I said, and it's not just about meeting 10 standards, even though it is also that.
It means that we have a responsibility to ensure the safety of all people, children, young people, adults and adults who may be at risk. It's about being respectful and caring and ensuring that we care for everybody and each other. It's really not rocket science. It's about the benefit for children, adults at risk and working together, and we can do this together.
So to me, safeguarding is a message to people in society, not just within the church, that we do take this issue seriously and are determined to put in place structures which will help ensure that it won't happen again in the future.
We need to make sure that we form their hearts into a culture and an attitude that will copy this exact manner how Jesus was treating others into our own relations with the little ones, with those who need our help and support. Safeguarding must be the heart of our mission and formation always.
With all this in place, we can know that our children and young people will be safe.
I'm now incredibly privileged to introduce Catherine Greiner, who sits on the Diocese of Parramatta's Safeguarding Council. I'm sure you'll enjoy meeting her today. Catherine.
Thanks so much. I'm just delighted to be with you today. Bishop Vincent's vision for justice and equality is aligned with my own vision and a personal hope for the future of our Catholic Church. To be invited onto the Safeguarding Council under the Bishop's guidance is an extraordinary opportunity to assist those most in need. Within the Council, we're focused on delivering safe communities using up-to-date data, transparency and innovation. We also share a clear understanding that the work we do must have positive, safe and measurable impacts for all. In serving our vulnerable communities, all the diocesan ministries and agencies make the best effort to give great opportunities for everyone to have voice respect, justice and equality. I'm very grateful and very proud to be a part of the Safeguarding Council, serving the most culturally diverse diocese in New South Wales. My fellow council members and I are all volunteers, and we bring a wealth of diverse and hopefully good expertise to the table. Our interests are to create a strong Catholic community. Through the efforts of those who've gone before us, the quick responsiveness of the diocese and the ongoing focused commitment of Bishop Vincent and all of his team here in Parramatta is delivering up-to-date, innovative and groundbreaking safeguarding initiatives. The Council are committed to assisting the Office for Safeguarding to deliver the most professional services and the best resources available. The training and resources available to you are constructed to meet the scrutiny of leading industry standards, government regulations, and the stringent auditing processes clearly and effectively. And most importantly, the specific needs of our children, young people, and adults who could be at risk. Today is a fine opportunity to celebrate the contribution of so many toward the strong safeguarding, prevention and training measures now in place for the Diocese of Parramatta. Thank you for inviting me to be a part of this heartfelt but professional process.
Thank you, Catherine. It's an exciting day when we can finally share and celebrate the results of extensive preparation and consultation undertaken throughout the past 12 months. Today we are delighted to launch the new Diocese of Parramatta Safeguarding online learning platform, a Safeguarding Points training guide, and the new Diocese of Parramatta Safeguarding Policy, and PowerPoint and YouTube instructions for parishes and agencies to set up to manage their own online training platform. Within the next quarter, we will additionally launch a new online safeguarding toolkit, bringing together all of our latest resources, information on support services, and other relevant policies that are relevant to safeguarding. With these tools and resources, the Office for Safeguarding is committed to educating and supporting all staff and volunteers ministering throughout our communities, so you can go forward confident in the knowledge and support we can provide. In this way, safeguarding practices and education standards will be uniform across the diocese. A diocese committed to ensuring the mistakes of the past are never repeated again. I'd like to introduce you to our team. Carla Mitchell, who manages all of the legal work that comes into the office. Kathy McClellan, Greg Flood and Sonia Fingleton, who are all focused on prevention, healing and support work with different spins on their roles, but all incredibly important. And we're all underpinned by the fabulous Rosa Pualoa, who is our admin person extraordinaire. Additionally, the Safeguarding Council and the Safe Parishes Committee have been absolutely invaluable, providing their support and commitment to get us to this point. We have been on all this together and we've done it together, and I really, really want to thank them. And anyone else I haven't thought of, you know who you are. This has been a joint effort. This is a team that has put this together. And today we are launching much awaited safeguarding training. This compliance training comprises 3 modules to be completed by all staff and volunteers, while leaders and most coordinators are required to complete 5 courses every 2 years. This new training replaces previous annual safeguarding training undertaken in a 7-hour block. And because the new training is available online, it can be completed at your own pace. The mandatory modules are an introduction to safeguarding, understanding child abuse and reportable conduct, and safeguarding adults at risk. We have 6 other courses that focus on domestic violence, elder abuse, children's participation in shaping child-safe policies, and many more to come. We will keep increasing and improving on the complement that we provide. We know from recent parish visits that there are many volunteers who don't want to learn online, and that's okay. Our Community Engagement and Education Officer, Sonia Fingleton, with our Healing and Support Officer, Kathy McClellan, who has more than 30 years' experience in the child protection sector, will undertake face-to-face training in parishes as needed. Just contact us, we are wholly flexible around your needs. Additionally, the Community Engagement and Education Officer is absolutely focused on providing all necessary resources to individual parishes and assisting them with every detail for the rollout of resources and training for all. Sonia will work with you to assess specific needs within your agency or parish. How can we assist with other safeguarding resources you might request, and structuring specific scenarios that address those needs? To understand what safeguarding means to the Diocese of Parramatta, it can best be simplified with the following: protect children and adults at risk, support victims of sexual assault and trauma, listen to children. All adults must take responsibility for keeping children safe and respond well if there is a complaint or a concern. Ensure our activities and programs are safe. Make sure all the people who work with children and adults are also suitable and supported. Educate ourselves and others about safeguarding so we can do it well. And put children first. Understand the impact of power to create situations where adults can then become at risk. Zero tolerance of abuse and harm. And together, all parishes, churches, schools, aged care, daycare, and agencies will over time become safeguarding champions in their own right. Implementing the safeguarding policies, practices should therefore not be an additional burden, but an effective way to embed safeguarding attitudes, behaviours and practice through people working at every level within our church. Now I have the great honour to introduce our leader at the Diocese of Parramatta, Bishop Vincent Long. Thank you.
Dear brothers and sisters in Christ, today we have reached a high point in the Diocese of Parramatta's commitment to safeguarding children and adults at risk. Through prayer, discernment and deliberation, we have recruited specialists in this field to develop a range of safeguarding policies, procedures and compliance training resources. Working together with shared knowledge and commitment, we can ensure the mistakes of the past are never repeated, and we are focused on building safe communities for all. Together, we are growing a diocesan community that actively promotes the dignity and rights of children and of all persons, particularly those who may be vulnerable. Together, we have a zero tolerance of abuse of any form. Together, we are committed to ensuring that all children and adults at risk under our care are safe, protected, and enabled to flourish. The Diocese of Parramatta offers its unreserved and deepest apologies to survivors of abuse and their families for the hurt and suffering this abuse has caused throughout their lives. And we are absolutely committed to ensuring that no child entrusted to our care is ever harmed again. The Diocese acknowledges that our past failings have led to irreversible harm inflicted upon children. While we seek to repair this fundamental breach of trust that was placed in us, we understand that trust is, for some people, are perhaps broken forever. Our past failing cannot be undone. However, we remain steadfast in our future commitments to ensure our current safeguarding policies and procedures create safe communities, protecting children and vulnerable adults at risk from any harm. In our works, ministries, and activities, we respond to the call of the gospel to protect those who are vulnerable by fostering culture, education, systems, processes, and environments where the safety and well-being of children and adults at risk is paramount. Together, we ask you to commit to a culture of safeguarding where leaders and staff and volunteers at all levels put safeguarding first. As a diocese, we are further committed to engaging and listening to the voices and experiences of survivors. We are committed to ensuring all people engaged by the diocese are suitable and supported with skills for their role, including robust screening processes, supervision, support, and ongoing education and training. We are committed to hearing the voices of our community, to make spaces to listen to those voices, and seeking input and feedback from families and the broader community and the rich diversity of the Diocese of Parramatta, including those who identify as Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islanders, from culturally and linguistically diverse backgrounds, and those with a disability. We are committed to having a regularly updated policies and procedures which document our safeguarding practices and are available publicly for transparency and accountability. We are committed to a complaints management process and policy which is effective and accessible, with a focus on ensuring the complainant is supported through the process. We are committed to ensuring that all matters requiring a statutory report are delivered in a timely manner, and that our staff and volunteers are trained to recognize and respond appropriately to disclosures and any potential signs of abuse. We are committed to creating safe spaces, to ensuring our physical and online environments are safe, and that we seek ongoing input from children and communities about what makes them feel safe. We are in this together, encouraging and expecting all our Chancery, parish and agency teams to accompany us on this most important journey with the expertise, tools and resources now readily available to all. I extend my deepest and sincerest thanks to many people, including our Safeguarding Council, our Office for Safeguarding Team, and the Chancery's Safe Parishes Committee for the excellent work we have all contributed to get us to this point. It is indeed a day for celebration, and we'll continue to celebrate and keep the safety of our children and adults at risk paramount in all our ministries and agencies. God bless you, and thank you.
We're in this together. We're in this together.
We're in this together. We're in this together.
We're in this together.
We're in this together. We're in this together.
We're in this together. We're in this together.
We're in this together.
We're in this together.
We're in this together.
We're in this together.
We're in this together.
We're in this together.
We're in this together.
We're in this together.
We're in this together.
We're in this together.
We're in this together.
We're in this together.
We're in this together.
We're in this together.
We're in it together.
We're in this together.
We're in it together.
We're in this together.
We are in this together.
We're in this together.
We're in this together.